off Truck Stop Load Board Pro for 6 months. The best tool for serious carriers. Don't miss out. Click the link in the description to get 20% off Load Board Pro for 6 months. Need capital to grow your business or cover unexpected expenses? Rock Financial has your back. Whether you're looking for a flexible line of credit, a fast cash advance, or tailored working capital solutions, Rock Financial makes it simple to get funded, often in as little as 24 hours. No hidden fees, an easy application, and real support from people who know the business. Ready to take your hustle to the next level? Tap the link in the description to get started with Rock Financial today. Wish insurance was this easy? With LogRock, it's like magic. Real coverage appears when you need it. No tricks. Get covered now. Click the link in the description.
Warning: the following content contains strong language and may not be suitable for children. This content is primarily for adults, as this is a trucking channel and truckers have filthy mouths. Please don't tweak if I say. Viewer discretion is advised.
Sweet.
All post notifications. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing tonight? Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. All right, another topic for today. And this is inspired by something, I guess it's inspired by the conversation that I was having earlier. And it's not aimed at anybody specifically. Maybe one person, and that person will know who he is, right? Because that person exercises a lot of characteristics of what I would classify as a soft individual, a soft man, especially as it pertains to business. So, based on the conversation we had earlier, it's not aimed at like Pop Sosa. It's not aimed at Phil. The only person that really, I think, just defines what I think is a soft man in whole would be Mr. Giger himself. Mr. Giger, the self-proclaimed Mr. Giger. And Mr. Giger knows who he is. But there's a lot of people out there that are like Mr. Giger. There's a lot of men out there that are like Mr. Giger. So this is a conversation that I want to talk about. And if anybody is in the chat later on, and I know I've been gone for quite some time now, so I'm working my way back into the algorithm. So it may not, we may not get a big crowd, but hopefully it'll be big enough that if anybody wants to have a conversation later on about this topic, I'll drop the link. So come on in, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. And this isn't about disrespecting anybody. Like I said, it's not about anybody in particular, but it was inspired by a conversation that was had earlier. So it's not to tear anybody down, but this is just something that is real. It's out there. I see more women UPS and FedEx drivers like lugging these heavy ass boxes off the back of a UPS truck. I can't even count. Like, all my UPS deliveries lately have been women. I've never seen more women UPS and FedEx drivers in my entire life than I see now. Most of my Amazon delivery drivers that deliver I see are women. I see women walking the alleys on the garbage truck. Women are doing men's jobs now. So this is more about, maybe accountability, identity, and where this shift in how men show up in the world today, as far as masculinity, discipline, as it pertains to business. And like I said, I'll open up the chat later for anybody that wants to have a conversation and debate. So first thing I think we should do is we should define the soft man. We should define the soft man. The soft man in 2025 avoids discomfort. I always say it, especially as it pertains to business, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You see a lot of guys, and they call up in the conversations that you see I have, they try to avoid discomfort. As a business person, if you're trying to avoid discomfort, then you don't never plan to grow. Like all these dreams that these guys have and the desire to scale and all this shit, that comes with uncomfortability. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I've told plenty stories of me being out on dates, out at dinner, getting those phone calls, or getting those phone calls on days where I had plans. I had a date plan, I had a dinner plan, and having to make that call and cancel, right? Now I got a choice to make, right? Do I, I get a call, right? As it pertains to my business, right? And it's going to require my time, it's going to require my attention for the remainder of the day. So whatever plans I have, am I going to, say fuck my business and and continue on with my plans, whatever they may be, or I'm going to attend to my business? I'm going to attend to my business. Business is what makes money for me. Everything else gets put on the back burner. I say it all the time. And you got guys that get upset with Mark, my family, and bro, and this is something that I've had very very serious debates with people on this channel, especially this year, and even with other content creators. There's one content creator specifically, I think that really hates me because of it. My hierarchy, God, right? First of all, then business, then everything else. Everything else after that, family, so on and so forth, right? Because the business is what enables me to be able to do things for the family. So I have to prioritize something, right? And then there's going to be things that are sacrificed. There's going to be things that are put on the back burner. There's going to be things that are neglected because I'm prioritizing something. I'm giving something more of my time than others, right? The business is what takes care of the family, right? So avoiding discomfort, if you are a man and you're avoiding discomfort, I put you in the category as a soft man. Especially if you classify yourself, especially if you want to be a businessman, you're coming into this trucking thing and you want to grow and succeed in trucking, and you're running away from discomfort, then to me you're soft. Once luxury without labor. You got all these guys, and we talk about it all the time. They want all of the benefits, all of the luxuries, the cars, the trips, the fancy apartments, the Airbnbs, the bad bitches. They want all of that shit, but they don't want to put the work in. They want that shit to come. Shit don't come right overnight. You got to put work in for that, right? Soft man has opinions, but no execution. A shoulda, coulda, woulda type motherfucker. Always got some shit to say about what they gonna do, but never do it. First of all, you shouldn't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. That's what my mom always taught me. Never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Just do it. Don't tell somebody, "Oh, I'm finna go get the Maybach. I'm finna go get the Maybach." Just do it and let them see you in it, because you will tell a motherfucker you finna go do something, and then something to happen outside of your control, beyond your control, right? And then you may have to attend to that, but you done told everybody, "Oh, I'm finna go get the new Maybach." And then when you don't get it, not that you can't get it, right? But there may just be a little delay. Oh man, I knew he wasn't gonna get it. He just be talking. He just be talking. Soft. Strong man, you don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. You opinionated, but you have no execution. You just a talker, but you ain't putting in the work. Wants respect without responsibility. A lot of these guys want people to respect them, but they don't want to take on the responsibility. That's why you see a lot of guys out here in this box truck thing that don't know their cost per mile. Been doing the call-in show for a couple of years now. Have we had one person call up on that show that knows their cost per mile? Not one. Why? Because there's too much responsibility. You get your LLC, you get everything, all your credentials, your MC. The first thing you do after you get your MC, you get your LLC, you get your MC, everything, you get your authority. The first thing they do is they run the Instagram. They get their rental truck, they snap their photo like this on the hood of their Penske truck or the hood of their rider truck, and they say hashtag new business owner. The flex, right? Because you want us to respect the flex. Man, I'm tired of working for the company. I'm a new business owner. I'm finna build this business. Generational wealth. You want us to respect it, but you're not responsible. You want us to respect you, but you don't want to respect the responsibility. That's why you don't know your cost per mile. Because a person that understands their cost is a responsible individual. Most of the people we see in this space aren't responsible. Prioritizes feelings over results. This is something that we talked about earlier. Why so many people today are just well, so many men, they just feel. Like, why do y'all feel in business? We just had this conversation earlier. Man, Mark, you can't think like that. I was talking to Phil and Pop Sosa, and then here comes fucking crazy clicking the link, calling, man, Mark, why do you like that, man? Because if everybody thinks like you, then the world is not going to be, man, fuck your feelings, fuck your business, fuck everything that you got going on. This is business. I'm not in business to care about you and your plight and your shit. I'm in business to destroy your business. I'm in business. You're my competition. Why should I care about you? You don't care about me. You're in business to provide for you, your business, sustain your business, and your family. Why should I care about that? I'm focused on me and mine. Why do y'all want people to feel a certain type of way, bro? Oh, Mark, you can't be cutthroat, man. You're a human first. I am a human. But this is not like the real world and shit. This is business. And this shit is cutthroat. This shit is ruthless. If I lay down and roll over and let everybody have their way with me, I'm not gonna get ahead. I don't understand this prioritizing feelings over results. When I get in business or I start a business, when I go to work every day, I go to work for results. Money, revenue. At the end of the day, I need results, revenue. I don't give a fuck about your feelings or your plight, especially if you're not on this line of the sand. The line is drawn in the sand. It's us versus them. Now, if you on this side of the line that's drawn in the sand, then we can share resources. If you on that other side of the line, then you the opposition. And me and the rest of the people on this side of the line, we're setting out to destroy you. Every opportunity that you thought you was going to get, we're going to get it. And we're not leaving nothing on the plate for you. We so greedy, after we eat the food, we going to lick the plate. That little ketchup that's on the plate, that little hot sauce. Remember, mama said, don't lick the plate, there's more in the refrigerator. Fuck that. I'm licking the plate. I need it all. I need it all because I need it for now, and I need to stash some away for later on for the rainy day. I need as much of it as I can possibly get because the storm going to come and I need to be prepared for it. Period. I'm not prioritizing I have no feelings. I'm only out for results. That's it. That's all. Another weak man character trait folds under pressure. As soon as a motherfucker put a little pressure on you, as soon as shit gets difficult, gets tough, you ready to fold. I don't understand it. Business is not for the faint of heart. If you are a person who just can't handle the pressure, the best thing to do, go get a job. That way you don't have to have all these responsibilities and make these difficult decisions every single day, day in and day out. You can just go somewhere, somebody's going to delegate to you what it is to do. They're going to do the thinking for you so you don't have to. Business is not for weak men. Avoids competition. Something else that we talk a lot about. Everybody that complains about cheap freight is an individual that's avoiding competition. We talked about this earlier. This is free market, it's free enterprise. This is America. This is what you want. It's okay when you go out and you run up the bag. Everybody that ran up the bag during the pandemic, it was okay to run that bag up then. Now, the weak people, the weak men, the soft men that have to compete now are complaining and making excuses and saying people are taking cheap freight because they refuse to compete. How do you compete? Making smart decisions, finding ways to continue to lower your costs. Don't put yourself in a trick bag. Don't go out and do the dun to dun. Don't go out and buy an expensive truck. Don't go out and put yourself in an expensive lease. Don't go out and rent an expensive truck. I talked to a guy last week paying 30 some cents a mile. $1,000 a week, 30 cents a mile, some crazy shit. Then you wonder why you can't make any money. You got to lower your costs so you compete. You can't complain about the person whose operation cost is lower than yours. You can't even complain about the person who's running cheaper than you ignorantly, who's operating at a loss. It's not none of your business. You still have to compete. You still have to compete against the ignorant person. You have to compete against the person who's able to operate cheaper than you. You have to compete against the person who may be operating cheaper than you purposely because they can take a loss because they're trying to push you out. You don't see that a lot in trucking, but that is a business strategy that is used. Companies do it all the time. Look at Uber. I like using Uber as an example. Out of all the years Uber has been in existence since '09, throughout their evolution, they've only been, and this is the rideshare platform, not Uber Eats, not Uber Freight, just the rideshare Uber. Since '09, I believe, was their inception. To now, 2025, last I checked, they've only been profitable one quarter, and that was Q4 of 2023. They can operate another 10 years at a loss. They have that much VC money. That VC money is what drove all their competitors that were trying to do the rideshare thing, except for Lyft, out of the market. Some of you guys probably remember those other rideshare companies that were around 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018 that were trying to compete. They're no longer here. Why? Because Uber provided a service back then to the consumer that was really, really affordable, cheaper than taking a taxi cab, and they paid the drivers exceptionally well to get them on the platform to meet the demand of the volume that they had of all these riders that they were on board, and because it was cheaper than taking a taxi cab. They pretty much killed the taxi cab industry, and they're still operating at a loss. All those startup rideshare companies, did you see them complaining that Uber was operating at a loss and providing cheap rides, and they couldn't compete because they didn't have the venture capital to be able to compete with them and offer cheaper rides at a loss over an extended period of time? No. So if I'm a big dog and I come into the market and I need you up out the way, but I got a bag of money, but I want your spot, and I can afford to operate at a loss for 5 years, and I know you can't, and that's what I need to do to get you gone, then that's what I'm gonna do. It's business. It's not personal. You know what you have to do in that situation? Compete. Not cry, not bitch, not moan, not complain. I understand that a lot of people that come into this business, box truck, even trucking in general, is just, they're just not business savvy, and they expect things to just fall into line, but that shit don't work like that. I run to a competition. If I see you going to be an issue, I'm not ducking you. I'm running to you. We gonna fight head up. I'm gonna meet you in the street, and we gonna battle. And if I gotta make the fight a little bit unfair, so be it. If you come with a stick, I might come with a knife. If you come with a knife, I'm coming with a gun. At the end of the day, I'm looking for results. You get into business, you have to understand when you come into business, this is what's required of you, man. So it's strange to me when I talk to men or when I see things on the internet and I see men complain about other men and what these men are doing and what rates they're taking and this, that, and the third. I've never complained about what another person is doing, ever. Like the OTR guys that complain about the brokers, bro. Final mile, dude. These fucking 3PL companies take 50% off top. I never complained about it. I never even gave a fuck, to be honest with you. As long as that 50% that's being offered to me, I'm able to sustain, be profitable, then that's my concern. If I can't be profitable with the 50% that's being offered to me, then I'm just not gonna accept it. I'm gonna go find something else. And that's just what it is. And anything I do when it comes to business, I understand I'm gonna have to compete. And I'm competing to win. Another soft man character trait. Want to be praised for coming to work. Well, at least I came. At least I showed up. Want to be praised for showing up but not finishing. Well, I tried. Like now we gotta give cats trophies now for trying and shit. Like I didn't come from this era. It's either you won or you didn't. Even if you came in second place, that shit wasn't first. But we came in second place. So fucking what? Nobody gives a fuck about second place. We only care about first. 91, 92, 93, 96, 97, 98. We wouldn't have cared if the Bulls would have lost to the Lakers in 91. We would have been upset. We would have been upset if they lost to Portland in 92. We would have been not Portland, Phoenix in 92, Portland in 93, Seattle in 96, the Jazz 97, 98. Second place wouldn't have, no. We had to be number one. Number one is the only thing that matters. Today, we have to give trophies for trying. And start, like, give kids participation trophies. Like, why? This is why even kids ain't trying harder now, because they win whether they win or they lose. If they lose, they win. If they win, they win. So there's no losers anymore. Losing made you go back to the drawing board and work harder so that you can come back next year, next season, and win. When Detroit was fucking Michael Jordan up coming into the hole 89, 90, what did Mike do? Over the summer, he didn't gamble that much that summer. That summer in 1990, he didn't do too much gambling. He wasn't gambling with the mob over on Randolph that summer. He was in the gym getting stronger because he knew he was going to have to go up against Detroit. He knew he had to get past Detroit to get to the finals. And he knew he was coming to the hole. He knew every time he came to the hole, Rick Lambier punk ass was going to elbow him. Fucking Dennis Rodman was going to hawk smash him. Rick Mahorn was going to kick him in the nuts. He had to get stronger. So he went to the gym. So he can come back the following year and compete. Losing to Detroit made him stronger. This is the era that I grew up. Not this soft shit now, bro. You don't get a participation trophy. Nobody's praising you for not knowing your cost per mile. This is why I hold people accountable when they come up here. I don't show no flex. Man, Mark, why you being so? Motherfucker, you started a business, you don't even know what it's costing you to run. I'm not finna praise you for that. That's fucking stupid. It's the dumbest shit. How do you run a business and you don't know what your product costs so you know what to be able to fucking offer it for, sell it for? You don't even know what it's costing you. This is why you're not making any money and you're calling me. I don't understand that. Not gonna praise you because you tried. So? And whoop-de-doo. You want to be rewarded without putting in the work. We're not doing that. This is what's killing men's ambition. And you see them instilling this into young men at an early age now. This is why this new generation, and it's been going on for some years now, and that's why this new generation has no ambition, and this next generation is going to even be worse than this current generation. Now, masculinity has definitely shifted. Not because men have evolved. That's not the case. It's society has softened the expectations. That's what has happened. For generations and generations and generations up until maybe like the last two generations, I would say, men were expected to build, men were expected to lead, protect, provide, compete, take responsibility. Now, today, men are told just be yourself. Just be yourself. Be what you just whatever you decide you want to be, you can be that. Just be yourself. Don't push too hard. Don't push too hard. All right, here's a good one I heard. Ambition is toxic. Like, even just using the word toxic is It's like men shouldn't use that word. That's you toxic. I don't understand that. Comfort. That's the goal. I always say, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You deserve happiness. You don't deserve to struggle. Man, the struggle, what do I always say? I said it earlier. Whenever I have to make decisions, like investment decisions or big like straw purchases and things like that, I think. Then I think again. And then before I pull the trigger, I always think about my deepest, darkest, just my just just times of struggle. And that's what enables me to make a good decision because I may be making a decision uh, too prematurely. So thinking about my darkest times, what that does is it enables me to really break down is this decision right now, is it warranted? I think struggle is necessary. I think when I see like young men today that are just pacified, that don't come from struggle, or they'll say their parents came from struggle, but they've done everything to prevent their kids from struggle, which is fine. That also is what is making young men just be soft. It's enabling them. Struggle gives you a level of appreciation. Struggle is what pushes you to go hard because you never want to go back to struggle. If you never struggle, you don't know what like you're entitled, and this is where you lose or you never had just this ambition. You lack ambition because you don't know what it's like to not have. I've had conversations in my Discord with like Pippi and things of that nature, and I always say, if 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 I decide to have kids, I'm gonna not. They're not going to. Um, they gotta go through some struggle, bro. They have to because they have to be prepared for, you know, the real world. I may not always be here to protect them, so they have to be, able to fend for themselves if something were to happen to me. I know a young lady, and I hope she's not watching this shit right. I hope she's not watching because she's gonna be upset. But she got a son. He's like 20 something years old, and he never leaves the house. Doesn't really have any friends. She's always, and she comes from that shit. She from the low end, but she protected her son, and he's just, and I ask her all the time, like, man, she said, I be telling them like if something happened to me, like, I think I talked to her maybe like 2 weeks ago. She said the boy ain't left the house since July, and this is a lot of shorties nowadays. They be in their room playing video games, all that, antisocial. They're very, very introverted. Whatever he wants, she gets it. She works hard to get him whatever he wants, which he doesn't really want much. Never had a job. 22, I think. No, 22. But there's a lot of young men like that out there that are being groomed like this. This is why I say that next generation is it's not looking good. It's not looking good. You have to struggle. When you tell men, young men, that they deserve happiness without struggle. That message creates soft outcomes. It's and I'm just sitting here thinking, and it's damn near sad just thinking about the direction that I see young men going in today. And I'm just sitting here thinking about what the next 10 to 15 years is going to look like. Masculinity is about discipline, it's about direction, it's about duty. A lot of men don't have discipline. I hate going to the gym. I don't like it, but I do it every day. And this summer, the people that follow the channel and in the Discord, I was working out twice a day because I was training for the marathon. So I would get up and I would do cardio, run in the morning, little strength training, and then I would go to the gym in the evening. And it was grueling, but it needed to be done. And every day I still go to the gym 6 days a week because it has to be done. No ifs, ands, or maybes. And today I went to the gym late, and it was difficult because it was after the time I normally go. I'm a little fatigued, tired, but I needed to go get that hour and a half, 2 hours in by any means necessary. A lot of guys today, they just don't have discipline. They don't have direction. They don't have discipline. They don't have duty. They don't have direction because this is where I hold us accountable, because we don't give them the guidance. Now, granted, these little motherfuckers, they don't want the guidance. They'll tell you. I've had 2 or 3 people in the past 3 months tell me, I don't want your help. I don't need your help. And I seen something, I offered it to because I seen that I could provide some value or some assistance and help. Actually, one motherfucker, I had an opportunity for him, a huge opportunity. Motherfucker just spit in my face, I felt like. So fuck it. So I get why, you know, older men today, don't go out of their way because we get pushback. See, my generation and generations before that, maybe the earlier millennials, we looked forward and we appreciated the generations that came before us when they took the time to provide us wisdom and understanding. We appreciated it. It was an honor. These little motherfuckers now, they don't get two fucks. They don't want it, which is also, contributing to their demise. And I think a lot of older men now, they just say the hell with them. To hell with them. And I think most young men and men in general today lack all three of these character traits. You can't find an individual today that follows a routine. A lot of guys today don't stick to their commitments. They'll let you down. They'll tell you one thing and not hold up to it. Another thing I see a lot of these guys do, which contributes to a soft man in 2025 going into 2026, can't control their impulses. They're very impulsive. They crash out. You got dudes killing women because the chick said something, or goddamn it, did something, or got caught flirting, or whatever the case may be. Listen, you gonna crash out over a motherfucker who gonna do what they gonna want to do anyway. So now you gonna throw your life away and you gonna go off buddy ass for some shit that didn't have shit to do with him. She chose. And guess what? Now you finna go to jail and she's still gonna be out here doing Dinos while you locked up. Because you couldn't control your impulse, you couldn't control your emotions. So now you in jail on a goofball act, and she's still out here doing Dinos. I don't understand it. You see this shit every day. It was a dude here over the weekend shot a chick 10 times at a gas station. Why? Because he tried to holler. It was out in Markham. I read the article. It was out in Markham over the weekend, I believe. She pulled up to the G station. He was at the G station. He tried to holler. She declined him. She rejected him. He blew her down. 10 times he shot her because she didn't give him the number. Now, the article didn't go into details of how she declined. She in Chicago, bro. So she probably, she just probably didn't say, no, I'm sorry, I'm seeing somebody. She probably didn't do it like that. She probably was harsh to the motherfucker. And that's why what he probably did, it probably fucked his ego up. She probably said, your dirty ass. Your dirty ass. Get out. She probably hit him with the your ugly dirty ass. You dirty ass nigga. How dare you try to holler at me? Yo dirty ass. And he probably was like, bitch, who you talking to? On BD, bitch, I'll blow your ass down in this bitch. That's probably what he said. I'm just role playing what I think happened. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, fool, BD, I'll blow your ass down in this bitch. You ain't finna do shit, bitch, because these women nowadays, they think they niggas, they think they men and shit. They be trying to fight niggas and shit like that. So she probably was like, you ain't finna do shit, bitch. I beat your ass in this bitch, man. He up well, ain't probably he up blicky on her. And he blew her down. Not once, not twice, but 10 times. Shot her 10 times, bro, over the weekend here in Chicago because she didn't give him her phone number. Now, who's at fault? I don't give a fuck what she said to him. I don't care if she called him, bitch, I ain't giving you my number. That doesn't warrant him blowing her down. That shit goofy. That shit's goofy. You know what else is I don't see a lot of dudes, young men doing, just men, some men, soft men, I should say. No to distractions. You see motherfucking dudes scrolling in their phone worse than broads. Like, why are you just sitting here scrolling and double tapping and shit, dude? You's a whole man. You supposed to be out here trying to find some money to get into, bro. Why are you distracted? You distracted by social media. You let your friends distract you. You let women distract you. And then you wonder why you can't get ahead or why you behind. Another thing, delaying gratification. Something we talk about. You got to stay down till you come up. Listen, ain't none of this shit that you see ain't going nowhere. I'm just telling you. And I know y'all little young niggas, even some of y'all old niggas, who just ain't never really had waited till late in life to try to, get your shit together. Let me tell you something. This shit that you see out here, it ain't going nowhere. It may not be the same shit, but I guarantee you, if you stay down till you come up, that same shit that you want now that you really can't afford is still gonna be there when you can afford it if you do what you're supposed to do, and it's gonna be better shit. By the time you be able to get it, the shit that you want now that you can't afford is gonna be better shit then that you can afford to get then. Yeah, they got the Trackhawk now, but guess what? About 20 years ago, they had the SS Trailblazer. So if you want the SS Trailblazer back in '05, you couldn't afford it then, but you stayed down until you came up now. 20 years later, you can get the Trackhawk. You don't want the SS Blazer. See what I'm saying? This shit ain't going nowhere. It's always gonna be shit here to buy. Always. Back in '08, '09, you might have wanted red monkeys. You couldn't afford to spend $1,000 on a pair of jeans. But guess what? Today they got Amiris. Well, they got Chrome Hearts. Chrome Hearts about $10,000 a pair, but they got Amiris. So it's always gonna be shit. You're not missing anything. This shit ain't going nowhere. You have to be disciplined. Period. Discipline used to be the foundation of just being a man. It took discipline for a man back in uh let's say the 50s and the 60s to get up every single day and go work at a goddamn steel mill or some type of factory or plant and do this labor intensive work day in and day out, right? The reason why they did it because they had a family. That was the core reason men worked really, really hard was to take care of their family. If you ask the man back in those days, why do they work so hard or who they do it for, they'll say their family. Now you ask a motherfucker, who's putting in some half-ass work, why they doing it for, they'll tell you so they can go out and buy something so they can stun on a motherfucker. You don't hear them say things like, well, this is to take care of my family and I'm trying to build this legacy for my family and so on and so forth. Those core values are long, long gone. Discipline now is looked at as old school. Motherfucker told me, man, Mark, don't nobody want to hear that shit. That's old shit. That shit don't work no more. Okay. Discipline don't work no more. That's what the young boy told me in the chat that one time. Okay. And that's a motherfucker who don't got shit. I guarantee you that same motherfucker probably don't own shit. He probably ain't got a pot to piss in nor a window to throw it out of. A lot of motherfuckers, when they say ignorant shit like that, they be telling on themselves. A lot of motherfuckers, they sleep all day. They don't read. They don't study. They don't plan. These are all the characteristics that we see a lot of these box truck guys that fail. They don't save. They don't build. They don't train. I had a guy that put a driver in the driver's seat of his 26-foot box truck because he wanted to come home. And then he didn't train the motherfucker. I say, yo, did you train him? No. Why not? Well, he told me he's been driving. Okay, just because he's been driving doesn't mean he's good. I say it the shit the same all the time. Lazy. You gonna put a driver in your truck, your asset. One, for the wrong reasons. You really should be out there in the goddamn truck yourself, driving the truck. But because you want to come home and be with your wife or be with your family and shit, you gonna put this motherfucker out there and then you don't even train the motherfucker. So now he go do the dun to dun. And first thing I'll be like, yo, did you train him? No, I didn't train him. Soft shit. Because you didn't want to go over the road with this motherfucker for 2 weeks. This stranger that you putting in your vehicle. You didn't want to be uncomfortable, right? Because that's uncomfortable. You going over the road with a stranger that you're hiring. You need to go over the road with him for at least 2 weeks. You need to be uncomfortable in this truck, training this individual on the do's and don'ts to your spec for your business. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable because you don't know this motherfucker. Yes, it's going to be costly because you got to pay for hotels. It's business. These motherfuckers don't sharpen their mind. All these are characteristics of soft motherfuckers. And this is why guys like me beat them every time. because they not conditioned, they not disciplined to go all the way. They don't sharpen their mind. They don't have that thirst for anytime you shun a motherfucker for trying to give you value, that's going out their way, that's offering some type of value to you pro bono. If a motherfucker come to me and say, "Man, I got some value for you, man. Can I make a suggestion?" I'm not egotistical, even at this point in my life, where I'm gonna tell a motherfucker, "Man, who are you?" No, hell no, man. What's up, big dog? Talk to me. That's what I'm gonna say because I don't know who this motherfucker is. I don't know what type of value they may offer me. But yet and still, I see young men or men in general shun individuals, myself included, because it's happened to me recently. A motherfucker saying, "Hey, can I offer you advice?" I tried to offer Buddy ass some advice earlier this year. Remember, Buddy? I don't even want to mention his name because he another motherfucker. He getting his feelings, bro, with the move and shit. And you could just look in his face like, "Nigga, nigga, you the nigga that's fucking trying to lift the refrigerator over the fucking counter. You can't even offer a motherfucker some friendly advice now because motherfuckers so fucking butt hurt. Man, I ain't taking no advice from nigga. It's advice that's gonna help your punk ass. That just shows how fucking soft you are. Nigga, you could be if I don't like you, but you offer me value, nigga, that's on you. Why would you offer me value and I'm your op? If my op gonna offer me value to make me stronger, then I'm gonna accept it. I don't like. I don't. I I hate to mention this nigga, man. This, the crazy dude. I've been gone for over a month, and I knew he was here. He's here now. I see him. He don't know I can see him, but you know I got that shit. This man wants to. How do you lead a family with soft discipline? You can't. This is why, like, when he comes up here to debate me on this shit, it never goes well for him. This is why he's where he's at, and this is why I'm here. This is why he's where he is, and this is why we over here. Because he's gonna make excuses on why it's okay to be fucking weak. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. All these people that have been wait, why you start a box truck business? Man, I want to build generational wealth. Next question, what's your cost per mile? I don't know. You can't build wealth with soft discipline. You're not disciplined enough to even understand what it costs you to run your business. You can't build that legacy with soft discipline. Period. Discipline is the difference between potential and fucking reality. I live in the real world. Like I was explaining to these guys earlier, I live in the real world. I'm a realist. You talk about, man, Mark, it's systemic. Yeah, a lot of shit is systemic. It's designed to keep certain groups down. You know better, you do better. I can't change the system. System is in place. I know it's there. My black ass can't change it. So if I know it's there, how do we beat the system? How do we not fall into the trap? I'm gonna deal with the reality. I'm gonna deal with the cards that's dealt, and then I'm gonna play the game to win. Now, you know where a lot of these guys get exposed, like even Buddy, that I just mentioned right now. You know why like guys like him don't have success? Because, like I said earlier, success requires discomfort. A lot of these guys that think they can build a business off a gig app, these guys don't want to go out and really do the real work. They want the lazy work, this work life balance shit. Like, I've never heard of this shit until the pandemic. This is some new shit. I never heard of work life balance before. These motherfuckers that's giggers, this motherfucker can click the link and call himself Mr. Gigger. Gonna take my word and just take it for himself. Cool. You want to coin yourself Mr. Gigger? That's fine. To me, anybody that thinks they can build a fucking sustainable life off a gig is, to me, you are the epitome of who I'm talking about. And you know, I've been hard on these giggers all year, and I ain't gonna let up off of them. That's why he's in that situation. Because it's comfortable. Oh, I can just turn the app on when I want to turn it on and go make my little $100. And then after I make my $100, I'll turn it off and go home and take a nap. And then if I want to get up and go make $50 later, I'll just go do that. Then go back home and take a nap. If you're doing it to supplement, then great. That's what it was designed for. If you're using it as a bridge because you may have lost a job and you're using it as a bridge into something, um, another job comes along because you've been applying, then that's okay. I'm not talking to you, so don't get that shit misconstrued. I'm talking to guys like Buddy, Crazy, and other people that try to use the gig app as income to sustain and take care. No, you're soft. It's because you don't want to go out and do the real work, the real job of a real man, and bust your behind and go out and make a decent living and have to report somewhere. Need to punch a clock requires discipline. Yo, you got to be here at 9. If you late, you get a grace period, 7-minute grace period. Anybody that has a job that punch clock, you know, you get that 7-minute grace period. You punch in a 9:01, 9:02, that's still considered 9 o'clock. As soon as that shit hit 9:07, that's 9:15. You're late. It requires you to set an alarm clock, get up on time, brush your teeth, wash your face, take your shower, get dressed. If you got children, you got to get them off to school. You need to do all this and still be at work on time. That requires discipline. A lot of motherfuckers don't got discipline. That's why everybody don't want to work a fucking job. That's the real truth. Motherfucker, it's hard to have discipline. They don't train themselves to be disciplined. So this is why they flock to the gig shit. And that's just the truth. Gigger, money requires sacrifice. Real money. You want real bread, it's gonna require sacrifice. I say it all the time. That's I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't give a fuck. Who told you otherwise? The truth of the matter is, if you want real bread, it's gonna require sacrifice. Whether you on the legal tip or the illegal tip. If you're on the illegal tip, clearly you're making a sacrifice. You sacrificing your freedom. And if you doing it on the legal side, it's gonna require sacrifice too, because it's gonna require your time. And if you're an individual who is family oriented, then that's the decision that you got to make. A lot of the guys that we've seen, that we've had conversations with over the course of the last 3.5 years, they get conflicted because that time is being taken away from family, and some of them choose to spending time with family, and then that's why the business suffered. You can't have it both. If you want a balanced life, get a job. There where you're there 8 to 9 hours or 8 hours, you got 16 more hours. 8 hours at work, 8 hours sleep, 8 hours spending time with your family. That's just the facts of the matter, big dog. Entrepreneurship requires stress tolerance. You know why Big Mark looked good for 45? You know why I still look young? And I don't look like we had motherfuckers call up on the call-in show. Remember, Buddy called up on the call-in show, and I thought he was like 50 something, and I was 44 at the time. He was 34. I'm like, damn, buddy, your ass look 10 years older than me, and you're 10 years younger than me. He looked 10 years older than me. Stress. Motherfuckers stressing at young ages because of the choices and decisions. Entrepreneurship is going to bring a whole different stress level. And you have to have stress tolerance because you're going to be dealing with challenges every single day. The bigger you get, the more obstacles, the more challenges. Period. Leadership requires a backbone. A lot of motherfuckers ain't got one. Soft as hell. Now, I'm from the crib, so type of niggas I've dealt with in business, gangsters. Real gangsters. I've had motherfuckers that have done 10, 15 years for attempted murder work for me, all type of shit. And guess what? I still had to stand on business when they fucked up. Why? Because if I let a motherfucker run my shit, I'll never get control of my shit again. It's motherfuckers that come into this trucking thing and they get bent over by the employee. They let the worker run them. You ain't running shit over here. If you a middle American and you got middle Americans working for you, you shouldn't be having no hard time. This shit should be sweet. I don't understand how you a middle American, you got middle Americans working for you, and you ain't got no backbone. So all you guys that are owner operators that have, drivers, you have to have a backbone. What I've been able to discover on this channel and uncover is that competition exposes excuses. People are scared of competition, guys. We see it all the time. This is going back to the cheap freight thing and the broker complaining and the shipper and cheap freight. And it all goes down. What do I always say? Compete. You got to compete. You got to figure out a way to compete. All these fucking excuses, complaining about all these people. You don't never hear me complaining about anything. It's beyond my control. Taxes are continue to go up. Groceries are going to continue to go up. Fucking insurance is up. My insurance went back down. Uh, Association fees continue to rise. Cost of goods are continuing to rise. Electric bill is continuing to rise, which I know why that's going up. We'll talk about that another time. I don't make excuses. I understand this shit. I understand this shit got to get paid, and if it gets to a situation that it starts to my neck collar feels like it's getting tighter, then that means I just gotta go make more money. I gotta get some more money coming in. Ain't no excuses. If I start a business, I'm coming in to step on shit. I understand that other people are in whatever industry of business that I'm coming to. They already exist, and I understand that I'm gonna have to compete. So I'm already coming in with the mindset to step on some shit, bro. I don't come into a business and then don't people that we talk to over here on this channel, they come into business without the understanding that it's competitive. And then they blame rates and what other people do and brokers and all this shit instead of holding themselves accountable for why ever it is that they're fucking failing. I don't give a fuck what this motherfucker skimming off the top. I don't give a fuck if that motherfucker is taking cheap freight or not. I know what it costs me to do what I need to do, and I'm gonna do what I need to do so I can keep going up and to the right. I don't give a fuck what you got going on. Period. Soft ass shit. And I know people disagree with it. But let's do a comparison analysis. You disagreeing with your excuses and me not making no excuses, and we can do a comparison analysis of life, lifestyle, assets, and I guarantee you I'll come out victorious. Excuses ain't gonna get you nowhere. Slow periods expose laziness. It's slow, so that don't mean sleep and complain. That means prepare for the busy season. If you're in the moving business, get your website in order. Start working on marketing material. There's always work that needs to be done. Always. Period. Characteristic of a meat man, another soft ass dude type shit. Motherfucker start getting bitching up and folding when the money getting tight. The money getting tight, the money could be getting tight based on the decisions that you made. But even if it's unforeseen situations or it's just, business is not doing good and, you're still at the beginning phases and your capital is not strong, it doesn't mean fold. That means do what you need to do to keep shit going. Sacrifices could be personal sacrifices. I found out a lot of people don't want to make personal sacrifices. Clients get difficult. Clients are going to get difficult. I've had difficult clients in the moving industry, the final mile industry. You're going to come across situations where things are going to arise, and then you're going to have some clients that aren't not even understanding, that just don't know how to communicate in a proper tone in a 6-inch voice. So they're going to get irate. They're going to, you know, get to yelling and screaming and threaten lawsuits and shit like that. You got to be able to deal with it. That don't mean fold. This is what you signed up for. Soft, soft nigga type, soft man type shit. Fold, bitch up when the pressure get real. And guess what? We in an era, we in a time period right now where pressure is real. You see it. And that's why you see so many people complaining. Just on the internet in general. But we're gonna keep it straight to the trucking, the box trucking thing. Pressure. A setback hit them. Should have been prepared for it. I always say prepare for the unexpected. We all have unforeseen situations. It's only a matter of time. You gonna bitch up? What you gonna do? I talked about it on the stream earlier. I had an unforeseen situation that happened to me. That's why I was gone for a month. I had to spend the bread. We don't whine, we don't complain. We understand things are going to arise and we prepare for them. This is why we have to go get it by any means necessary. I need it all. This is where the discipline comes in at. Can't take rejection, no. You fold, oh well man, they said I can't get the contract, so I'm just gonna call it quits, man. I tried. They ain't the only game in town. It's not the only game in town. Or like Buddy ass that I talked about 20 minutes ago, outside of the trucking thing that happened here in Markham. The word no made him shoot that girl 10 fucking times because she told him no. She probably didn't tell him, and I'm quite sure she probably just didn't be like no. She probably was a little bit extra with the no, but the word no seems to trigger men today, soft niggas, soft men. It triggers them. They can't take rejection. A lot of soft men fold when they realize that success takes years. We've seen situations like that and people that have called in. They thought that they was gonna get a box truck and they was gonna run up a bag real quick, fast, in a hurry. And then they started to realize it ain't as simple as their favorite content creator made it out to be to them. Then they found my channel and then they started resonating with the real and they said, no, I can't do this shit. This shit too much work. Too much work. Is you a man? Or what type of nigga is you? I can talk like this. I'm qualified. Not only am I qualified, the shit that I've done in this industry is some of the hardest shit that you can do. Yeah, I didn't have the luxury of no touch freight. You got motherfuckers now that don't. Nah, I just don't want to use my pallet jack. No touch. I need all no touch. So I'm qualified, and I've done the hardest shit that you can do. A lot of these niggas wouldn't never be able to do the shit that I've done. Yeah, man, Mark, I heard you talk about your shoulder on the show, man. I can't do that. That's why you where you at, and that's why I'm here. I'd rather be here with a fucked up shoulder than be there. On everything I love, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I'd rather be here with a fucked up shoulder than be there. To be honest with you, and I'm just keeping it a buck. I don't give a fuck how you feel. Would I rather have a 100% shoulder and be fucked up, or well off with a fucked up shoulder? I'll have the fucked up shoulder. That's from years of wear and tear. Most of the wear and strain came the last 3 years because of the pandemic. And I didn't bitch up then. When the going got tough, the tough got going. Luckily for me, I did what I needed to do for the first 10 years, so I was already up. So now when this unforeseen situation comes, we not chasing the bag, we just sustaining. And we doing the last dance. This the victory dance. And we making the bag on the exit to a lot of people that made bad decisions. I want to get you coming and I'm going to get you going. You better believe it. You don't get to sit and talk shit in a year or 2 years. See, I can sit and talk shit because this is years of grind. Years. You don't get to sit and talk shit in a year. It don't work like that. But a lot of people, soft motherfuckers, they think they could do it in a year because they don't want to work in the be. Yeah, I'm gonna get the truck and I'm gonna drive it for a month and then I'm gonna put a driver in. One, you ain't gonna make no money. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. And two, that's some lazy ass, soft ass shit. The money that you think you're gonna make by just getting the truck, putting the driver, and then you just sitting around doing nothing ain't gonna give you the luxury of being able to sit around and talk shit. Trust me. Success takes years, a lot of years. Men that aren't soft, like regular dudes, like tough dudes, like hard dudes, we want the long term progress. We don't want the quick shit. We don't want the instant results. This economy ain't made for soft motherfuckers, man. To sum it up, I'm just gonna tell you what the other people ain't gonna tell you, whether they know to tell you, they don't know to tell you, or they know to tell you and they just ain't gonna tell you because they don't want you to like be mad at them and shit like that. But I just gonna keep it a buck with you. This economy ain't made for soft people, bro. This economy is made for wolves and killers. Inflation, so what? Make more money. Don't rely on just gigging. Gigging, if you're just gigging and then you're complaining, why? You shouldn't be complaining. You're just a gigger. You don't want to work. You want work life balance and you're complaining. You don't get to complain because you don't want to work. Inflation to make more money. Things have gone up over the course of years anyway. I understand it. We're never going to see cheap fuel again. We're never going to see affordable cars again, affordable housing. All that shit is all gone. Like, you're not going to be able to go get 2, 3 loaves of bread for $1 like back in the day. That shit is gone. Gas under $1 a gallon. That shit is over with. All that shit is over with. It's a wrap. Forget about it. It's not coming back. I know they keep telling you, but I'm gonna tell you the real deal because I've seen this before. I've lived through it before. It's not going back. You have to get acquainted and adjusted to what it is because this is the new norm. I've been telling y'all that. This economy, as far as competition, the worse it gets, the harder people are gonna compete. When come on, like see my y'all middle Americans, y'all don't really understand this. Here in Chicago, New York, guess what? When it get cold outside, that's when it really in the summer you see the shootings and the killings come up, but in the wintertime is when the robbers come out. Why? Because they can put their shiesty on. They can put they big coat on, they Parker, they bubble goose with their shiesty, put the hood on with the all black. You can't see them and they get gully. They got the fucking cold, so they got the dried up shit right here in the eye. They got the dried up shit right here in the lip and it get ugly. The harder it is out here, it's going to drive people to desperation and do some things that they wouldn't have done. And then the motherfuckers that was already doing them types of things anyway, it's going to make them do them even more. And they're going to be more fierce with it. See, I understand this just from a street perspective. So it's easy for me to translate that over to business. The more the economy gets fucked up, the harder motherfuckers are going to compete. So if you a weak ass motherfucker, you a soft motherfucker, then go ahead and give up. Flip. Just get up out the way. Go ahead and get up out the way. This economy is not for weak people because this is when the wolves, they fangs gonna start coming down a little bit further. I'm not bullshitting you. The industry is changing. The work culture is shifting because of people's mindset. This time period requires adaptability. You have to be able to adapt. You have to be aggressive. You have to have grit. You have to have grind. And you can't get comfortable. Now is not the time to be comfortable. A soft motherfucker is going to get eaten alive out here in this economy right now. You better motherfucking believe it. Now, is there anybody that disagrees with me? Speak now, forever hold your peace. And I'll drop the link. Where is it at? Where is it at? I forgot. How do I do it? Oh, there you go. Well, one person disagrees with me. Let's see if they're brave enough to click the link. I bet you they won't. That's the type of individual I'm talking about. That disagree. One of those types of people because they clearly they one of them type of people because they disagree. But let's see if they will click the link. What's the biggest What's the biggest soft man behavior you see killing guys who try to get into the industry, not knowing their cost? I think if you come into this business or any business, but I see a lot in this business, and you don't know what it costs you to run your business, you're soft. Well, why am I soft? Because I don't know my cost, Mark. Because you're not responsible, and lacking being responsible is a characteristic of a soft individual. That means you don't have discipline, which is another characteristic of a soft individual. You're not disciplined enough to sit down and crunch your numbers to understand what it costs you to run your business, to be able to further understand why it is that you're failing in the first place. So that's the biggest soft man behavior I see killing guys who try to get into this industry, not knowing their cost. Rich says the crazy thing about crazy is he's 3 hours behind the day and wastes so much time on things that don't help his situation. That idle time he spends all over the place only hurts him. Shaking my head. Yeah, yeah. But I'm actually living in a hotel. I remember him. Yeah, my great grandma would have called that foolishness. Agreed. Jason says, "What you missed, you gotta go back and watch the replay." And I click the link for anybody that wants to have the short conversation on the topic. Has modern culture made men soft? Absolutely. Another big part that I didn't touch is social media, but I think what's known don't need to be explained. Social media is like validation culture, which is what makes a lot of these guys make these poor decisions anyway, because they do a lot of the shit that they shouldn't be doing because they take it to social media for a sense of validation. They need validation. They need somebody to validate whatever it is that they're doing every day and all day. And then there's no consequences for failure. We reward people, like I said earlier, for just trying, coming in second place or failing. Well, at least you tried. No, you failed. Fuck you talking? At least you tried. No, you failed. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna get up and dust yourself off and try again, like Aaliyah said, or are you just gonna take this "I failed" trophy and get the pat on the back like they're doing now in society? Because everybody gets a trophy. Participation trophy mentality and being addicted to fucking comfortability and work life balance and some shit like that. So that's what it is. All right. So whoever that was that disagree, I see you're scary. Another characteristic of a soft man. Scary. Scary individual. The type of motherfucker that, will talk shit online and troll you and hit the thumbs down and finger troll and do all that shit. And then the chance, the very minuscule chance that you run into this motherfucker in real life, and the motherfucker do this. Motherfucker put his head down, see you, put his head down. Can't look you in the face. Scary than a motherfucker. Put his head down, put your head down type motherfucker. That type of individual. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You know who I'm talking to. the motherfucker who disagree that won't click the link. So that's what it is. Um, okay. Any more? Shout out to Mark Brown in the building. I see you. Appreciate you. I know that was loud. That'll wake you up, but I know everybody that's watching probably driving. So yeah, so I got a bunch of shit lined up to work me back into the algorithm after this hiatus for it's a little over a month. So it's gonna be a epic, one of them epic content just run drops that you see me do from time to time to make up. But everybody that came in or they'll watch the replay, a lot of people that messaged me over the course of the last month. Some people I got a chance to respond to. Some people I didn't, but I appreciate those who reached out to just check on me to make sure I was straight. I appreciate that. Do you think that the trucking will be sustainable in the near future with AI becoming more of a factor? Do you think? Yeah. And if it's not, if trucking, if AI drives an individual out of a certain market, you just got to go to another market. I don't see, and this is just my opinion. I don't know how far technology can take us over the course of the next, I don't know, decade, let's say. But I know what driving is like in Chicago. So I would assume in the wintertime. So I would assume it's similar in like places like New York, right? And just anywhere in the north where it snows, Minnesota. And I just find it very, very difficult for an AI fully autonomous tractor trailer to operate on its own in inclement weather. Like, my cars are modern with sensors and shit. And when it snows and it's really, really cold, and I go out in a car and that ice is freezing up over the sensors, sometimes those sensors go haywire. Right? They're thinking that something is in front of the vehicle or behind the vehicle, and the whole time it's just salt, right? Or maybe ice that is blocking the sensor or it's throwing the sensor off. So I just don't see a tractor, a fully autonomous vehicle coming into a market like this, or let's say coming up 55, going on 55 north in a snowstorm and being able to operate like it, let's say like it would operate down in Arizona or down in Texas, where the weather doesn't isn't inclement like how it is up here. Rain is okay. But when you get to this snow and this ice and shit, like that snow, if you're driving into that snow and it's snowing and it's really, really cold and it's below 32 degrees and you're hitting that snow and it's hitting the car and the wind is causing that water, that snow, once it melts, to turn the ice over the sensors. If you haven't driven in that type of shit, then you wouldn't understand what I'm saying. But if you come from the north, if you've driven in that type of weather, then you can understand and probably feel the same way I feel. I just don't see how it's gonna be possible for a truck to do it. Like unless they gonna put some sensors in that got a glass shield with maybe the glass can heat up around the sensors and they got the glass is shielding the sensors and the glass heats up to melt the element, then maybe, that may be an option. I don't know, but the way things are now, I just don't see it. So I don't think it's going to fully displace humans. No. Do you think it would drive the rates up or down um, for human drivers? Now we can speak, you know, what if this were to go like on a national scale and be more, prevalent, then obviously it would drive rates down because that would be a less need for drivers. So those drivers would have to compete more. But I don't think that's going to happen, though. I don't think that's going to happen. So I wouldn't. Trust me, I would if it was something to be worried about. I would say nah, be worried about it. I don't. I think fully autonomous semi trucks, as far as really having a stronghold on logistics as a whole, if it were to happen, it's still a long time coming. It's still a long time coming. So I think you're fine. I think you're fine. Now, I will say this: the truckers that have been operating for, let's say, 30 years now, I think the longevity of being in trucking now, you should look at it from a shorter lens than a person coming into trucking 30 or 40 years ago. Person coming in trucking 30, 40 years ago that's still trucking, they had that window of opportunity if they wanted to truck 30, 30 years. I think if you're coming into trucking now, I don't think you should be looking at a 30 year window. I think you should be looking at a strong 10 years, doing what you need to do is making, as far as making as much money as possible, appropriate into things that can provide opportunities to make more money and be looking to exit. I don't think coming into trucking in 2025, let's say 2026 now, you should have a 20 or 30-year plan because technology is advancing very, very fast. And what you're asking, that technology, as far as like what I'm saying, as far as the weather element, I'm pretty sure over the next 30 years they'll figure out something to to be able to deal with that weather element. So I'm saying I don't think you have a 30-year window like a trucker that came into trucking 30 years ago have. I would come in with a mindset and having a strong 10-year plan and really working diligently and hard over the next 10 years, keeping in mind of the uncertainty of what technology has in store for trucking 10, 20 years down the line. Now, I hope that it wasn't a mind bender, but replay it, watch it over and over again, what I just said until it sinks in. So 608 says AI don't need sleep. Absolutely doesn't. It doesn't. It don't need sleep. It's probably it doesn't need to run a log. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Kevin Birch. Appreciate you. Yeah, so it don't need to run a log. So it's designed to save the company cost and to be more efficient. So they're going to be more efficient all while saving cost. So so something to think about, man. I think, like the mindset of starting a career, going into business, just even 10, 15 years ago, you should look at it different now. And this is for any business, you know, like technology is moving at a very, very fast pace than it ever has before. So I think anything you get into now, you have to understand that you need to make as much as you can, and with the mindset and the understanding that you don't know what technology has in store for that your industry in 5 to 10 years, you could be displaced. So I'm from Mississippi, Middle America, looking to enter into the business next year with cargo van and hopefully find a contract. Then get a box truck. I'm going to call in at some point. Not tonight though. Yeah, you don't got to call tonight. Ain't the night really to call in for like that. That's more for the call-in show, which I haven't done a call-in show I think 2 months. So I think one is one should definitely be on the plate probably this weekend. Probably do it Sunday night. But that's more geared for that. This type of show is geared more so for mindset, and then the link is more so for people who disagree. So yeah, tonight would night anyway. Even if you wanted to call in for that type of dialogue, So so it is what it is. I think uh you need to just be mindful of what's to come. Mark, you're absolutely right. You can't give a child everything. They won't appreciate it and they won't grasp the concept of value. It's just empowers empowerment. Shaking my head. Yeah. Yeah, you can't do it, but we see a lot of people do it. And man, I listen. I was in a store a couple weeks ago, man. Man, the mama walked in with the boy. The boy had on a bonnet. Shorty had on a bonnet. And I'm looking at the mama. Mama had a fat old, she had a big old ass too. Decent. Mama was decent. But then I'm looking at her son, like you letting this little dude wear a bonnet. This is like a woman bonnet. Like you see the chicks that be outside with the furry house shoes with the bonnet on their head. You know what chicks I'm talking about. He had one of them on his head. And I'm like, man, why you gotta I didn't ask him. I'm like, man, Shorty, why you got a bonnet on your head? You a boy. I know he had a little sugar in his tank, but man, like this shit crazy out here now. I just don't know, man. I don't know. But let me see. I just want to make sure I got everything. 5 years past that. Do you think that starting a trucking business is worth your while in this day and age? Particularly with AI taking over. I think you can start, but I think goes back to what I just said a few minutes ago. I think if you start today, I would have a 10-year plan. I would, if I was coming in today, or let's say if I was taught, if somebody very, very close to me, let's say wanted to come into this business and they asked for my opinion, my thoughts, I say 10-year plan. I would do what I need to do in 10 years and be gone. Get the fuck gone. If Mark and the rapper Sugar Free had an interview together, it would raise the ties of all men. Man, shout out to Sugar Free, man. Shout out to the P, man. The P Sugar Free, man. The P, man. The P, the P, the P, the P Sugar Free, man. The people who need to hear this convo and get the needed advice like tonight always seem to miss it. Hey man, they gotta. Hey, hopefully they watch the replay. Shout out to Don Solo. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Marky Martin level up. Shout out to Kirk in the Wiseman podcast. Shout out to Kirk. Kirk texted me yesterday. Yeah, so shout out to HCP Picks. I was watching the replay of the stream earlier. I seen you say something about Chicago dudes like art. I thought just people like art in general. Where do you get Chicago dudes like art? What's synonymous with Chicago and art? I didn't catch that part. I didn't understand that. Why you think Chicago dude is only into art? Is something wrong with the volume? Why you can't hear me? You want me to turn it up? Somebody told me earlier that I said I was too loud. That's why I turned it down. But I'll turn it up. Is that too loud now? I turned it down because it was kind of somebody said it was loud earlier, so but I just turned it up. So is that better or is that too loud? Is that better or is that too loud?
Is that better or is that too loud?
Is that better? Is that better for you, Kevin? All right. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. All right. All right. I want to see what this ACP say about the art thing. Or did he just come in and say salute and left? Give me a second. I'm finna get out of here. ACP, what was you talking about earlier when you made that comment about the art? Let's see if I can find him.
You said I'm low.
when I have guests on the show, but not by yourself. I think that was the old setup, but I reconfigured a lot of shit too, and I bought more shit, so I got more equipment, um, you know, to make things more crisp and clean. But I can turn it up. I'm still adjusting the levels. So these are kind of like test streams. I'm gonna be making changes over the course of the next month. Been trying to get into the Discord. There's a wall up, so you got to pick a level. That's probably why you're not getting in because you ain't picked a level. The paywall up, you know. So, but yeah, if you see like my mic or anything is low or anything, just let me know in the chat because I gotta reconfigure everything, you know. So I gotta test it as I'm live. So just if you guys hear anything's low or it's too loud, whatever, just let me know. All right, I guess HCP picks left. He ain't gonna answer. Been trying to get into Discord. I answered that. All right, boom. All right, so boom. Long story short, we back. A lot more content on the way. It's November. We rounding the end of the year. I'm about to go on a nasty run. Content, dropping a bunch of content for the rest of the year. So I know it's about to slow down. So keep that in mind. To all the people that are out here, you know, you don't hear much about peak season no more. Ain't nobody pushing that shit no more because they had to put their foot in their mouth a couple years. So people ain't pushing that shit no more because they don't know how to read shit. Uncertainty. But I don't think you're gonna like what people expect of peak season. Those days are long gone. But whatever it is that you do, when you do get that little increase in volume over the holiday season, just keep in mind that January is going to be really, 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 really slow. So just appropriate those funds correctly because January you'll probably need it. So I wouldn't, if I were in a lot of people's situations, I wouldn't be the guy saying no right now. I try to make as much money as possible and prepare for the January and the February that's about to come. I think this January and February is going to be worse than last January and February and the January and February before that. So if you've been watching my channel, my forecasts are always right. So just be mindful of what I'm saying. I think this January is going to be. I think it's gonna be tough. I mean, if you gotta look at the time right now, you know, once upon a time, at this time, stores would be packed. November, every weekend, stores would be jam packed. Now, this is maybe 15, 20 years ago, right? But, you know, when you're looking at the sentiment now and the buying behavior now, it's just no even indication yet that Thanksgiving is fucking a weekend. Is it a week and a half? 2 weeks away? What's today, the 14th? So what, 2 weeks now? 2 weeks from today, actually, right? When is Thanksgiving? Is it 2 weeks from today? Today Thursday, right? Or is today Friday now? Let's see. So Thanksgiving is, well, Black Friday is 2 weeks from today. So Thanksgiving is say 2 weeks. Thanksgiving is 2 weeks away. So it's technically the holiday season. So, you know, I think this January and this February is going to be, it's going to be detrimental to people. So, man, keep that shit in mind, man. If you got to do what you got to do, man, so you can be prepared for that shit. All right. Shout out to 608. Shout out to everybody. I'm probably gonna do some streams and shit later on today. But for now, I'm out. Appreciate everybody. Peace.